Hi everyone, my name is Cyrus Jansen. I'm an American expat for the past 13 years, and in today's video I wanted to talk about specifically the United States and China and the fallout that is happening because of the coronavirus right now. Now, even before the coronavirus became this worldwide phenomenon that has really affected every country and every household around the world, we have seen a very large anti-China sentiment rising in the West. Now, the reality is that many Western governments can't simply wrap their head around the fact on what China has been able to accomplish as a one-party state in the last 3 decades. China was at the very bottom of the world as terms of, poverty alleviation, as terms of wealth, in terms of society, economy, just 3 decades ago. But because of the entrepreneurial capabilities that the Chinese government has injected into the economy and into the society itself, China has now risen to the #2 country in the world. It will surpass the United States in just a few short years as the #1 economy worldwide. And that remarkable transformation has systematically brought over 500 million people from poverty into the middle class. 80% of the world's poverty alleviation over the last 3 decades has come directly in China. And again, Western governments just simply can't just fathom that. They are a one-party state. They are a communist country. How are they able to do this? I think a lot of people in the West don't truly understand what type of communism actually exists in China. You see, we are always taught in the West that communism equals evil. But I think we're also taught as children to not judge a book by its cover. So my first question for you, that if you do not like China and you hate China, is have you ever been to China? Now, there's a great YouTuber called Nathan Rich who's based in Beijing, and he said something that actually has a lot of truth. He said, when it comes to China, there's basically 2 types of foreigners: those that hate China and those that have been to China. There's a lot of truth in that statement, because anybody that I've talked to has actually been to China and see how the economy works, see how those cities work, see how the people in China are actually happy and they're actually thriving and their lives are getting better every single day. They come home with a very different perspective than someone that's never traveled there. Unfortunately, I think in America, a lot of people think China is similar to North Korea, where there's one dictator who strips away many freedoms. And I think a lot of Americans would be actually surprised to learn that China has an exceptional amount of freedom. But here's another thing. China plays a very pivotal role in helping Americans keep their American dream alive. You see, the American dream allows American companies to go abroad, go to a country like China, manufacture goods in China, then import them back into America, sell them at an exceptional markup, and make profit. Best example for that? Apple. Look at Apple. It's the most valuable company in the world, valued at $1.2 trillion, and that has been their formula for success. But it's not just Apple. It's Starbucks, it's Disney, it's Tesla, it's thousands of American companies that has used China for the last 3 decades to produce many, 90% of the household goods that you use on a daily basis. When you say, let's boycott China, I'm never going to buy a made in China product again, it's actually very difficult to do that. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that you shouldn't support local or you shouldn't support American. If there's an opportunity to do it, I'm very happy to do that. But I do also realize that our relationship with China does help our daily lives be more affordable. The majority of Americans, they don't want to work in factory jobs, doing very simple tasks. And that's why the jobs have been outsourced. There's nobody in China that's holding a gun to an American CEO's head saying, you must come to China to manufacture. Remember, it's American CEOs who have made the decision to leave America, go to China so they can produce cheaper. Okay? If you want to leave China and bring back all the manufacturing to the United States, that's no problem. But when your iPhone costs $3,000, who's going to buy it? China does help us live a better life. Now, in closing, I just want to say that we need to stop blaming China. We need to learn from China. China right now, kids are going back to school in China. Society is opening up. Their economy has been restarted. So they have shown the West on how to successfully combat the coronavirus, and we need to learn from China. Let's not be like Senator Tom Cotton in Arkansas, who says, you know what we need to do? Let's ban international students from China to study in the United States. What he fails to realize is that there's tens of thousands of American students studying Chinese and studying in China right now. And the reason they're doing that is to further their relationship with China, to do more business, because the United States economy depends on importing and exporting with countries around the world, including China. What happened if the #1 and 2 economies in the world actually strengthened their relationship, through this difficult time? You know, viruses can happen anytime, anywhere in the world. You know, H1N1, the swine flu in 2009, that came from the United States, but no one around the world blamed the United States. What about the AIDS epidemic? No one has blamed the United States and asked for, financial compensation for that. What about the 2008 and 9 financial crisis that started in the United States and rippled through every economy and every stock market around the world? Do we want to hold the United States accountable? Of course not. Now the problem is, I know a lot of people are going to watch this video and they're going to say, Cyrus is nothing but an internet troll hired from the Chinese Communist Party. It's not true. I'm an American expat and I love my country. I love America. I really want America to be made great again. But I do realize that for America to be great, it depends on international relationships with countries around the world, China included. So blaming China and saying that China is the enemy is not going to get us anywhere. So let's unite, let's get through this difficult time, and thank you for watching this video. Now, if you're new to the channel, I'd love for you to hit that subscribe button. Check out some of the other videos that I have on my channel. I'd love for you to watch those. I'm doing weekly vlogs about China and life and my travels around the world. I want to thank you all for your continued support, and we'll see you in the next video.